Welcome into Bombers Live. I'm your host, Brendan Miller, and today we are joined by a two-time USTFCCCA Outdoor All-Region in the shot put, a Liberty League second teamer in the shot put, and a Liberty League honorable mention in both the hammer and weight throws. It is Arianna Bernard. And Arianna, we are very, very excited to have you here. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you today?
I am excited to talk. So let's get right into it, and let's start kind of at the beginning. So what was the process for you like coming to Ithaca as a two-sport athlete? Because not only are you on the track team, but you were on the field hockey team as well. So what was that process like for you in deciding that you were going to play both sports?
It was actually really exciting. I was really fortunate to be able to do two of the things that I love. I was happy that I didn't have to make the hard choice between the two because I've never really been able to say which one I like more than the other. And I know going into this next coming fall, it's going to be hard not doing field hockey anymore, and that's going to be a challenge having to only be a one-sport athlete. But it was really nice to be with multiple coaches that were able to and willing to have me do both sports and work with me and get to meet so many different and diverse people and diverse teams as well. They're two really great teams in and of themselves, but also I've learned so much from both of them, and just so many different factors have gone into making me the athlete that I am from both of those teams.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you think the difference is being a two-sport athlete, you know, in that recruiting process and you know, compared to someone who just comes in playing one sport?
It's definitely a challenge having to like time manage for sure. It's obviously all athletes and even whatever you do, like time management is key, but having to kind of spread myself thin between two sports and realizing that in the spring seasons, I'm only really going to be with track and not see field hockey as much, as well as in the fall, not being able to meet the new first years that come in, because that's kind of the time for track to get to know everyone and do a lot of team bonding, and really missing out on that. So it's definitely has been a challenge to be able to figure out that time management, as well as getting to know people and not feel like I'm favoring one over the other. But it has been really fulfilling and a really great experience. And as much as it's been a challenge, I'm really glad that I can do it. And I feel like other two-sport athletes on campus probably feel the same way.
Yeah, and you talk about both teams. I just kind of wanted to, you know, talk about that a little bit more, because you are on track and field, which is obviously very, very individual, and then you're on the field hockey team, which, being a goalie as you are, you rely a lot on your teammates. When, while it is one of the more individual positions, it is still a team sport. So what are the differences really in being on one team that's very individual, where it's all you all the time, and then the other team that is more team reliant?
That's funny you say that, because it's something I've been kind of dealing with and challenging myself with right now, because the throw squad is a lot of times more separate from the whole track team in itself. A lot of places, a lot of venues we go to, the throwing areas, especially in the outdoor season, is farther away from everyone else. For Liberty Leagues next week at the University of Rochester, the throwing area is about, I think, 1,000 meters is the exact term from the track. So it's going to be really weird to be at a championship event where we're not going to be with everyone until the whole thing's over. But I also really enjoy being able to be on the field hockey team where we're with each other every single day, and through whatever hardships that may bring, being with the same girls day in and day out and kind of seeing the same 30 faces every day, it's really nice to get to know people on that level and be able to build that relationship and have that family value with each other. So it's been nice to have that in my back pocket for when it's time to come to track time. And we have 60 girls that we deal with, and it's double the amount of people, but being able to bring those team values to a team where things are a lot more individualized, but also being on the same page when it comes to like championship seasons.
Absolutely. So obviously the last year has been difficult for a lot of athletes, not knowing really what is coming next. So what has it been like for you individually, and how have you kind of gotten through it and gotten to this next season where we've started up again?
I think given that, for track last year before COVID happened, we were seated, I believe, second going into nationals, and just really riding that high and getting really excited to be at that point as a team, because we hadn't, I think our 2016, 2017, and I could be wrong, season, we were runners up at nationals. So it was really nice to kind of be back at that point again, and then being cut off for a year, we kind of had that on our back. And now in, what is this, almost May of 2021, we're back at that and we're second again. So it's been really nice for me personally to see how the team has grown and been able to overcome our like the adversities that have been thrown at us for the past year. And so it's given me a little bit of a chip on my shoulder to be able to put something towards the team and give them all of my efforts so that we can all get to the point where we want to be, because I know that we can do it and we all know we can do it. So I've been able to really challenge myself and advance and get better every single week so that I can do something for my team.
Yeah, and you mentioned last year before, COVID stopped things, or 2 years ago, you guys were up at second in the country, and then obviously this week it was announced that you guys are up there again, second best team in the country. So being on a team that has been so successful for so long, what is that dynamic kind of like?
I think it's really cool for us because we have maybe 5 or 6 people that are in the top 10 right now, and that's a lot of where those points come from that give us that I don't know the whole acronym for the USTF, but the poll that they do, points come from those top 10 people. But also we have people who may not be ranked nationally who are still doing what they can to like get to Liberty Leagues and push each other during practice, and even just like if someone has a great achievement, sharing it on social media and just spreading that word out there, because it really gives our team kind of a lot of hype and gives us the respect and recognition that I think that my teammates truly deserve. And so it's really awesome knowing that every single like young lady on our team and all of the coaches and everyone that puts forth their efforts to make us be where we are right now, like it really truly isn't just 1 or 2 people who are getting us to that number 2 ranking. It's truly a team effort, and that is the most incredible feeling.
Yeah, I absolutely understand that. So let's talk about academics a little bit, because obviously being a politics and international studies major while balancing 2 sports, that takes up a lot of your time. You talked about time management a little bit earlier. So how do you do that individually, being able to balance everything, academics and athletics?
It is a challenge for sure, and I'm sure like every student athlete can say that no matter what major they're in, that it truly is a challenge. But I find lots of time amongst other things that I'm doing. I also work on campus in the equipment room here in the Athletic and Events Center. So during that, I just get some work done, and I always carve out some time during the day to be able to get things done, because I mean, we all say we're student athletes first, and as many times as we can say that, and it sounds cliche, like it's true. That's why we're here, and that's kind of the beauty of Division III, is that we are able to focus on our academics, because that's where most of us are going to go in the future, and people can go pro. And we have some Ithaca athletes, I believe, that are like doing Olympic stuff right now for crew or rowing or one of those things. But I mean, it all comes down to our academics, and that's where we're going to go after we leave. And sadly, I'm not going to be able to throw or play field hockey for the rest of my life. So I really try to make that time to focus on my academics, because I know that that is also a driving factor behind my athletics. I'm not going to be able to compete if I don't have a good GPA. So they really do work together.
Yeah, that's kind of where I wanted to finish off as well. Just kind of asking you, what is next for you? Because obviously we care about you guys, and being D3, we don't have a lot of people that go professional or go to the Olympics or anything like that. So we're always interested to hear what the next steps are.
So I'm a senior, so I'm supposed to graduate this spring. However, I took a medical leave of absence last semester, so I pushed back my graduation date to this coming December. And then since we have eligibility due to COVID, I spread out some of my classes so that I can use my eligibility. So in the grand scheme of things, I'm now graduating next spring in 2022, which is really cool because my roommates are all juniors, so I get to graduate with my roommates now.
Nice.
After that, hopefully grad school, but I really don't know. But I also like that I have this time to figure things out. But you know, the beauty of being a politics major is that the world is truly your oyster. Like you can really go anywhere with politics. So grad school, and then who knows, maybe you'll see me in like the CIA. I don't know.
Well, we hope so. We definitely hope so, and you've got some time to figure it out. But that's going to do it. We really appreciate you coming on. We're really glad to hear that you had time to step on with us.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, and thank you to everyone who tuned in to this episode of Bombers Live Interviews. I've been Brendan Miller. This has been Bombers Live. Be sure to check us out on our socials at ICTV Sports 607. This is a great interview, and we were glad that you were here to watch it with us. That'll do it from here at Studio B, Bombers Live Interviews.